Very well, everyone. I'll start with the invocation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, Haribol everyone, welcome to Sunday program. So this week's class is actually going to be about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I was thinking about what to speak about today. It came up with what's actually relevant to us in this day and age. Once I got asked a question in a class that everyone talks about Leelas of Lord Krishna or Lord Ramachandra. These happened thousands, if not millions of years ago. What's the current? Give me something current that's happened, something recent. Well, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was 500 years ago, so that's pretty recent in comparison. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the avatar for this age. So the verse that I've chosen today was from Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 1, verse 14. So I'll sing the verse. Panchatatratmakam Krishna Bhaktarupa Svarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. And the translation to this is, I offer my obeisances unto the Supreme Lord, Krishna, who is non-different from his features as a devotee, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, devotional manifestation, Nityananda Prabhu, devotional incarnation, Advaita Acharya, devotional energy, Gadadhar Pandit, and pure devotee, Srivas Pandit. So he's saying that Lord Krishna is actually non-different from these 5 features. And in a book called Gaura Ganodesh Dipika, written by Kavi Karnapur, who actually himself is the son of Shivanand Sena, and who is one of the foremost associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says that this Panch Tattva is non-different from Krishna. The whole of the Panch Tattva is non-different from Krishna. So it's Krishna showing the manifestation in various features. So he summarizes in this lovely book the meaning of those words. So the Bhakta Rupa, the form of a devotee, is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who formerly appeared as Lord Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. The Bhakta Svarup, or devotional incarnation, is Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who formerly appeared in Rajabhumi as Lord Balaram. The Bhakta Avatar, the devotional manifestation, is Lord Advaita Acharya, who is non-different from Lord Sadashiva. And the Bhaktakya, the pure devotee, is Srinivas. And there are other great devotees as well. The Bhakta Shakti, the devotional energy, is Gadadhar Pandit, the foremost of the Brahmins. So this is the wonderful Panch Tattva that we have. And literally just 500 years ago, I was listening to a class by Guru Maharaj, and Krishna's Maharaj, he was saying that don't think about going to the heavenly planets. So as devotees, we're always taught this, oh yeah, you shouldn't go to, try to go to the heavenly planets, you should try and go back to Godhead. But in some devotees' minds, it can be that, hold on, going back to Godhead is so hard. And that this material world, this earth planet, Prabhupada actually calls it rotten, this rotten earth planet. So you think it's so miserable here, which we're really experiencing now. What if we just try to go to heaven instead? because at least it'll be better than here. People do think like this. And Guru Maharaj is funny, he warned in that class that I was watching, he said, don't even think about going to the heavenly planets. Because if you go to the heavenly planets, first of all, it's not permanent. In Bhagavad Gita, it says that going up to the heavenly planets, you go there as long as your pious credits are there. Once they're exhausted, you simply fall back down. But Guru Maharaj said the worst thing than that is, when the people were in the heavenly planets, when Lord Krishna appeared, they were cursing themselves, thinking, why have I been born in these heavenly planets? The Lord's pastimes are happening down on Bhumi Lo, and I'm stuck up here. So many of the demigods were lamenting like that, thinking, why can't I be there? These people are going and associating with the Lord, are so fortunate. They're even more fortunate than the demigods. You always see, actually, in the Lord's pastimes, whenever the Lord is born, whether it's Lord Krishna, Lord Ramachandra, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you will see that demigods will come and visit when the Lord is being born, but you never hear them staying. They visit, and then they have to go back to their own planet. So they don't end up staying. So the people on the earthly planet are fortunate because the Lord appears here. So Guru Maharaj was saying that you may get stuck in the heavenly planets, and then the Lord incarnates again, and you're stuck there again, and the actual way to go back is blocked for you because you can't go and associate with the Lord. So demigods are waiting to be born in this Kali Yuga. It's so fortunate that you can actually be born in this Kali Yuga and go back to Godhead, because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has made it so easy. So we have to realize that in this age, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the incarnation of the age. He has come in a form to show us how to become devotees. And it's actually said that when the Lord incarnates from Golok Vrindavan, no one actually knows which incarnation is appearing, because all of the various incarnations of the Lord leave at the same time. So it's actually said in Gorgana Deshdipika, I'll read it. It says that, hold on. Yeah. So it said, Lord Chaitanya accepted Srimati Radharani's golden complexion and ecstatic love for Lord Krishna, both of which had never before been seen in this world. Lord Chaitanya was actually Lord Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, and he appeared like a great ocean of nectar flooding the world. It says next, when Lord Vasudev, the first member of the Chaturvyu, saw the dancing of the Gandharvas at Dwarkapuri, his mind became agitated with the desire to dance as they did. In order to fulfill this desire, Lord Vasudev entered the transcendental body of Lord Chaitanya to participate in the Lord's pastimes of ecstatic dancing. So you can see, the Lord, when he was in Dwarka, saw these Gandharvas dancing and thought, wow, I would love to dance like that. So that Vasudev, who lives in the spiritual world, in Dwarkapuri there, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was descending, he merged into the body of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this actually happens very regularly. Like when Lord Krishna incarnates, no one in the spiritual world knows who's incarnating, because all of the various incarnations merge into the body. And so it's amazing. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has all of the incarnations. So Radha and Krishna are there. And it's very wonderful, actually. This book actually shows which of the different associates of the Lord actually incarnated within Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. And you might think, what benefit does this have? Why should I care about these different personalities associating or being part of this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes? Because people might say, oh, well, I like Lord Ram, or I like Lord Krishna, or I like Lord Nrsimhaya. And he's my Ishtadev. I understand Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is come here to deliver us and show us how to worship, but I'm just going to worship my Ishtadev. And it says, there's a wonderful quote in this book, which says, just as the moon of Lord Chaitanya was about to rise in this material world, the Lord said to Advaita Acharya, some devotees are attached to me in the spirit of servitude. Some are attached to me in the spirit of friendship, and others are attached to me with a mixture of the spirits of servitude and friendship. Some have firm faith and love for me in my forms as Sri Radha Madhav, and others are attached to my form as the King of Dwarka. Some are attached to my various incarnations and thus display various kinds of love for me. I shall now show them how to love me as the residents of Vrindavan did. So Lord Sri Mahaprabhu was saying, for all of these devotees, I'm going to show them how to love me like the residents of Vrindavan did. And actually Lord Sri Mahaprabhu said that Prem Pamartho Maham. Lord Sri Mahaprabhu was saying that the highest love is actually the love of the Vraja Gopis. So Lord Sri Mahaprabhu came to show all of these personalities who love the various incarnations of the Lord, how the Vraja Gopis love them. Because that's the highest. So there were various personalities within Lord Sri Mahaprabhu's associates who actually were great personalities from previous incarnations. So you got someone like Murari Gupta, who actually is Hanumanji. And Hanumanji was very attached to Lord Ram. And even there's a wonderful pastime when Lord Krishna was here. Hanumanji has actually been meditating for many years. Since Lord Ramachandra left, he had just been fixed in doing meditation on the Lord and chanting the Lord's name. And he was just chanting the name of Lord Ram and just chanting, and so many yugas had passed, and Lord Krishna's incarnation was there. And one day in Dwarka, Krishna said to Narad Muni, go and call Hanumanji, I would like to see him. So Narad Muni goes to the Himalayas where Hanumanji is chanting, and he actually sees Hanumanji busy chanting the name of the Lord, and he tries to disturb him so he can come and take darshan of the Lord, and he's not shaking out of this wonderful chanting that he's doing. And Hanumanji doesn't know who Lord Krishna is, because he just remembers Lord Ram. So Narad Muni says to Hanumanji, Lord Ram is calling you. And Hanumanji wakes up, Lord Ram's calling me? He goes, where is he? He goes, he's actually in a place called Dwarka, come and see him. So Hanumanji immediately gets up, you think, Lord Ram needs me. So he goes straight to Dwarka. And there at the door, guarding, is actually Sudharshan. And Sudharshan had actually gotten a little bit proud, thinking, no one can defeat me, and I'm the greatest of the Lord's devotees, because whenever the Lord goes to fight, he always uses me, and I'm the one who always kills all the demons. So I'm incredibly great. There's no one more powerful than me. So Lord Krishna often uses Hanumanji to smash the pride of his devotees. So when he went there, Sudharshan was stopping Hanumanji from entering Dwarka. And Hanumanji said, Lord Ram's waiting in there for me. He's asked for me. I need to go. And Sudharshan said, hold on, you can't go past me. And he goes, I'll fight you. And Hanumanji said, okay, fine. So Sudharshan got ready to fight, and Hanumanji just simply swallowed Sudharshan. And Sudarshan's inside him. So Hanumanji just goes straight up the thing, goes up, and he takes darshan of Lord Krishna there. And actually Lord Krishna himself looks like Lord Ram. He transforms himself into the form of Lord Ram, and Rukmani changes into Sita Mata. And Hanumanji has just been meditating all these years, and he pays obeisances, and he pays obeisances to the Lord and crying so much. And Lord Krishna asks, where is Sudharshan? I heard he was at the door. And Hanumanji said, Sudharshan? He goes, someone was blocking my way. I don't know who it was, but I swallowed them and I just came to take your darshan. And Lord Krishna said, okay, very nice. He goes, let him go now. So Hanumanji opened his mouth and Sudharshan came out. And Sudharshan was standing there humbled and just went back to guarding the door. And Hanumanji was there seeing the Lord was looking exactly like Lord Ram. Because Lord Krishna and Lord Ram look practically identical. There is no difference. Just Lord Ram's eyes are a bit serious, and Lord Ram's eyes are a bit serious, and Lord Krishna's are playful. So Hanumanji is taking darshan of Sita Ram there, and the Lord says, you know, this isn't Ram incarnation, this is actually Lord Krishna's incarnation. And so when he changes to look like Dwarkadish and Rukmani, Hanumanji is amazed, like, oh, wow, wow. But then he says to the Lord, he said, you know, my Lord, please just look like Sitaram for me. He goes, that's my worshipable Lord. Please just look like them for me. And the Lord changed back to Sitaram, and Hanumanji was overjoyed. So you can see Hanumanji's such attachment. He even met Lord Krishna, but he just wanted to see Sitaram. So this same Hanumanji was there as Murari Gupta. And every time he would so be joyful to sing the name of Lord Ram. And one day, Lord Sani Mahaprabhu told him, he said, it's good, you're saying the name of Ram. He goes, but just try and chant the name of Lord Krishna instead. And knowing, Murari Gupta, knowing that Lord Sani Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Lord Krishna, who is Lord Ram, he said, okay, Lord, I'll follow your instructions. So he goes home, and the next day in the morning, someone sees Murari Gupta running towards the Ganga holding his tongue. And he's running, and the word gets round to Lord Sani Mahaprabhu, Murari Gupta's running to the Ganga, I think he's going to do something. And so Lord Sani Mahaprabhu immediately comes out and sees Murari Gupta running. And he goes to Murari Gupta, he goes, what are you doing? He goes, what are you about to do? He goes, I'm about to jump into Gangaji. And he goes, why? He goes, because I'm so addicted to saying the name of Lord Ram, I went to say Ra, and I realized you told me not to say it, so I grabbed my tongue. And I thought, let me quickly commit suicide before the Ma comes out and I disobey your order. And Lord Sri Mahaprabhu was so pleased with him, he said, look, it's fine. You just chant the holy name of Lord Ram. So Lord Sri Mahaprabhu, you can see that all the various incarnations, the personalities actually can see that person in Lord Sri Mahaprabhu. And there's a wonderful pastime where Lord Sri Mahaprabhu was doing some kirtan with his associates. And there was a temple, I think they were going to, I think with Murari Gupta as well. And when he went in there, it was a temple of Lord Varahadev. And immediately, 1 minute, Lord Sri Mahaprabhu was there dancing. The next minute, Murari Gupta looked, and the Lord had changed into Varahadev. And there was a water pot there, and he'd actually lifted it up on his tusks. And they were seeing that, oh my God, Lord Sri Mahaprabhu changed into Varahadev. So there's a wonderful pastime, actually, about this, that there was a person who lived in Mogachi village. And there was a Vipra there who was actually a great worshipper of Lord Ram. And the day when Lord Sri Mahaprabhu was born, he saw so many demigods actually come to the house. He could actually see them. This Lena Brahma was so powerful. He could see the demigods coming. He thought, wow, the Lord must have incarnated. And he thought, actually, this Jagannath Mishra must be King Dashrath, and Sachi Mata must be Kaushalya herself. And he left the house of Jagannath Mishra without saying anything to anyone. And later, when he was meditating on his Lord Ramachandra, he actually fell asleep. And in his dream, Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared to him, fully grown, as he was. This is just after Lord Sri Mahaprabhu was born. And he had such beautiful form, 7 foot tall, beautiful broad shoulders, nice, beautiful eyes, arms that reached to his knees. And the Lord actually then suddenly changed to the form of Lord Ramachandra. And the Brahman, and this is while he was sleeping, was so astonished that this Gauranga Mahaprabhu actually is my Lord Ramachandra. And at that point, when the Lord was standing there, Sita Mata was there, Lakshmanji was there, Hanumanji was there, and he was thinking, wow, this is amazing, the Lord has appeared. And then he woke up, and the Brahman was so disturbed that his Lord Ram wasn't there anymore, and that he was seeing in his dream, Lord Sri Mahaprabhu actually appeared to him in person in front of him. And actually was consoling him, saying, don't worry, I'm here, I'm here. And he said to him, don't tell anyone about this. He goes, you can come and visit me regularly, but don't tell anyone. Because Lord Sri Mahaprabhu wasn't showing everyone that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It was called a Channa avatar, the hidden avatar. So many of these devotees the Lord would reveal himself to, he would say, don't tell anyone. So this person that wrote this book called Ishana Thakur, and he actually wrote a book on Lord Advaita Acharya as well. He said that this Brahman, at the time that he was actually going to leave his body, had told Ishana Thakur this story that had happened. Because for his whole life, he obeyed the Lord and didn't tell anyone, but on his deathbed, he told him. And that's where in this book these pastimes are actually written. So there's another wonderful, you can see the Vipra saw Lord Ramachandra was actually Lord Mahaprabhu. So there's another wonderful pastime where Guyak Raj, the friend of Ramachandra, actually had taken birth as a Brahmin near the time of Lord Mahaprabhu at that time. And his name was Sadanand Bhattacharya. And he knew nothing except for Lord Ram in the three worlds. And it said that he was present at the house of Jagannath Mishra when the Lord was taking birth and saw so many demigods coming. And he concluded, yeah, this must be my Lord taking birth. And when he actually did his meditation later on that day, he actually saw that Gauranga Mahaprabhu was there, sitting on an altar, surrounded by Lord Brahma, all the demigods, and then suddenly changed into the form of Lord Ramachandra with Sita Mata. So this is the reincarnation of Guyak Raj. So you can see that devotees of Lord Ramachandra incarnated in Lord Mahaprabhu's pastimes and are taking his darshan in there. So you might think, you hear many people saying, oh, I believe in Lord Narayan is the Supreme Lord. I believe Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Lord. So at the time of Lord Mahaprabhu was coming, those were those devotees as well. And there was one very old Brahmin who used to worship Lakshmi Narayan all the time, very, very opulently worship. And at the time where Lord Mahaprabhu was getting married, he actually happened to be there at the ceremony. And when he was marrying Lakshmi Priya, and this devotee of Lakshmi Narayan saw the actual wedding party, and he saw Lord Mahaprabhu sitting there next to Lakshmi Priya, and he thought, wow, he looks just like Lakshmi Narayan. They say that when you go to people's weddings, that this person represents Narayan and represents Lakshmi Devi. Whether or not they look like Lakshmi Narayan is a different thing, but they say they represent. But this wedding ceremony, this Brahmin said, Lord Mahaprabhu is so beautiful, Lakshmi Priya is so beautiful, they look just like Lakshmi Narayan. So having this meditation and this sort of vision of the Lord there at his own wedding ceremony, the Brahmin was very happy and went home. And when he went home and went into his house and went into his temple room, he saw Lord Mahaprabhu and Lakshmi Priya standing there. And he was overjoyed, oh my God, how have you gotten here? And he paid his obeisances, and right in front of him, Lord Mahaprabhu changed into four-armed form of Narayan, and Lakshmi Priya changed into Lakshmi Devi. And he was stunned, thinking, oh my God, he fainted. And when he came to, he saw, my God, Gauranga Mahaprabhu is Lakshmi Narayan as well. So you can see that whether you worship Lord Vishnu, whether you worship Lord Ramachandra, whether you're worshipping Lord Krishna, all of these personalities have incarnated as Lord Mahaprabhu, because Krishna has incarnated as Lord Mahaprabhu. So we have to look and say that in this Kali Yuga, our main method of going back to Godhead is through the mercy of Lord Mahaprabhu. And we must have complete faith in that. Sometimes we jump from one personality to another, to another, to another. But you have to realize in this age, without Lord Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, it's not possible. Understand that the beauty of Kali Yuga is twofold. At one point, it said, there's a verse saying, Kali dosha nide rajan astihi eko mahadguna kirtanat eva krishnasya mukta sangha param brajet. That in Kali Yuga, there's so many faults, unlimited number of faults, but there's one good quality, that Kirtana Eva Krishnasya. By doing Kirtana of Lord Krishna, you can go back to Godhead. But it doesn't just mean any old, let's just do Kirtan, don't do anything else. There's another verse which says, Tvisha Varnam, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishna, Sangopang Astra Parashadam, Yagya Sankirtana Praya, Janti Hi Sumerasa. That Lord Krishna will incarnate in Kali Yuga, and he will be doing the chanting of the holy names, and he'll be with all his associates. And those that are intelligent will follow him. So in this Kali Yuga, we have to realize we must follow Lord Mahaprabhu's path, because the requisite purity isn't here. Think about it. The opulent worship that was done in Dwapar Yuga, we can't do deity worship like that. Even in our temple, you see you have 2 full-time pujaris. If you'd asked us to do that every single day, we couldn't do it. It's very, very difficult. Meditation. How many people can meditate? You meditate for 5 minutes, your attention is gone after that. Forget to meditate, even chanting. People have to be doing japa walks and just think, I'm just trying to finish my rounds, Prabhu. So meditation is very, very impossible. And forget about doing havan yagyas. It's so difficult even to get the ucharan right. The mantras are correct. So in this yuga, the chanting of the holy name is the most important way. But there's also all the other items of Nava Bhakti. So in this age, because the requisite purity isn't there, the only way actually is through the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and even more importantly, Lord Nityananda Prabhu. It says that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives mercy with one hand, Nityananda Prabhu is giving it with both hands. And this is where it's so important. Even when in Lord Ramachandra's pastimes, when Shrupnagar went to see Lord Ram, she was flying by and she saw Ram and Lakshman. Immediately she became attracted to Lord Ram because he was very, very beautiful. So naturally, God is all attractive. We think, oh my God, the Lord is so powerful. He can protect me. He can do this. So you become immediately attracted to the Lord. So the first thing she did, she went straight to Lord Ram and said, you should marry me. And Lord Ram politely said, no, I'm with Sita Mata, my wife, but Lakshman is there. And Lakshman is Adi Guru. Lakshman is Balaram. Lakshman is Nityananda Prabhu. So Lord Ram was telling him, go straight to Guru. Don't come directly to me. You must go through the spiritual master. So went and through Lakshmanji. So she went there, then she just simply wanted to marry Lakshman. Lakshman said, no, I'm just a servant of the Lord. So you can see in various pastimes, you can't get to Lord Krishna directly. It's important to go through the spiritual master, and especially Nityananda Prabhu or Balaram. They will give you the blessings and mercy to be able to serve the Lord. And it said that actually in that wonderful book, it says that Rohini and Vasudev, the parents of Balaram and Krishna, appeared during Lord Chaitanya's advent as the most exalted Brahman couple, Padmavati and Mukunda. Sumitra and Dashrath were also present in the bodies of Padmavati and Mukunda, or Hadai Pandit we know as. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu's pastimes actually in Ekachakra are quite amazing. I was listening to Chaitanya Bhagavat, and he's saying that Lord Nityananda Prabhu, from a very early age, he would simply be enacting all the pastimes of Lord Krishna to such incredible detail. And people are astonished, how is this boy knowing so many of these details? And there he would perform all the pastimes of all his cowherd boyfriends, who were actually the same cowherd boys that were from Golok Vrindavan, who would come with Lord Krishna, were there with Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And the same with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. It's said that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would perform pastimes exactly like Lord Krishna when he was younger. Even to the point, he would go to Gangaji, people would be doing their worship, and these were Pakka Brahmins who had been worshipping there for many, many years, offering worship to Gangaji, some of them coming to meditate there. And the Lord would go up to them and spit in their arti plate and splash water into their face. And when they tell us, what are you doing? He goes, your Anushtana has been successful, the Lord is here. And just laugh and run. And they would get very disturbed, like, oh my God, not realizing the very Lord of their meditation has just given them his Charanamrit. And when he would go there, devotees would be trying to do his Gayatri, and the Lord would go there and splash them with water from his lotus feet. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very, very naughty in his childhood, very naughty, just like Krishna. And it's funny, he actually said in Chaitanya Bhagavat, he would go up to the girls he used there, and he used to go up to them and say, you should marry me. And they would get shy and go and complain to Sachi Mata. And it's like literally like Lord Krishna coming up to you and saying, you should marry me. Trust me, if Lord Krishna came up to any of the girls in this world and said, you should marry me, they'd faint on the spot. And that's Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was so beautiful. So the pastimes Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were doing were just like Lord Krishna's pastimes. And this is just 500 years ago. So these places are there. I know it's lockdown now. It's funny. So ever since the lockdown has happened, my desire to go to the holy dhams has increased manyfold. Because before, the option was always there, oh yeah, we'll go on yatra. Now the option isn't there. And more I'm thinking all of these places are still there. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's house is still there. That tree is still there. all of those places, Gangaji is still there. In fact, Lord Mahaprabhu's sandals we've seen as well. You can't find Lord Krishna's sandals now. It's been 5,000 years. I don't know what's happened to Lord Krishna's sandals, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's are there. So devotees should take advantage and go and take darshan of these spiritual paraphernalia that the Lord actually has left there for us. This is the potency of Kali Yuga, that the Lord has left all these wonderful places there. There's the devotees are there, and he said when you go to the holy dhams, many of the great sadhus will appear there just as ordinary people, meaning you'll walk past them and not even realize who they are. My father tells a story of some Babajis who used to live in Vrindavan, and this is maybe going back 20-30 years now, maybe even longer, he had said to his guru, I want to go to Vrindavan and surrender into some Siddh Baba. And the Siddh means perfected. And that means they've perfected their devotion. And he goes, go to this such and such Siddh Baba there. He'll be sitting there, and you can go and take initiation from him and learn from him. And so the person was great. He went to Vrindavan. And when he went there to the spot that his guru told him, he saw a man sitting there with a pack of cigarettes. And whenever he sat down next to him, and he thought, what's going on? This is a bit strange. So he sits next to him, and some people come by, and immediately the person got some cigarettes out and started smoking them. And he thought, this is the person that I'm supposed to come and learn from? This is strange. So the more time he spent with him, the more he thought, this can't be right. So he went back to his guru, and he got very upset. He said, the guru, who did you send me to? I went there, there was someone smoking a cigarette there, where you told me. So he became very dejected, and he became very, very dejected, and he thought, you know what, forget this. I can't maintain my body anymore like this. I'm just going to leave. And at that point, he saw his guru and that sadhu that he saw in Vrindavan descending from the sky. And they were both Siddh Babas. And he came down and he goes, so have you passed the test yet? It's because the Siddh Baba was sitting there just maintaining as an ordinary person so that people don't disturb them. Because as soon as you see that there's someone that's Siddh Baba, you say, please help me, I've got this problem, got that problem, got this problem. So in the holy dham, whenever we go there as ISKCON devotees with our tilaks and our bead bags, we think ordinary people that we see around there, who are you? Do you know I'm initiated? Do you know how many rounds I chant very inattentively? We go to the holy dham with such arrogance, not realizing the people that we're mixing with there, you don't know who they are. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was being born, Aditi Mata came there, Bhumi Devi came there, but they just looked like ordinary housewives. And they came there to give dakshina to the Lord. At the Brahman thread ceremony of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took on the form like Vamandev. And they said that the same pastimes when Vamandev appeared, with Aditi Mata giving him so many different things, a Brahman thread, Surya Dev giving him something, Chandradev giving him arms, this same pastime was performed in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's house. All those personalities appeared, but they weren't glowing like Surya Dev, they were just looking like ordinary people. So when you go to the holy dhams, always respect everyone around you, because you've no idea who you're brushing past. This is the benefit of being born in this Kali Yuga. It's a terrible, terrible age. Trust me, with everything going on in this day and age, you can see the world is looking more and more hellish. It's revealing its colors. In this day and age, you can really see that actually enjoyment is practically non-existent anymore. Even material censorship, if you try and censor, try and go to a cinema, try and go to a restaurant, they'll arrest you because it's a lockdown. You can't do these things. Even just going for a walk in the park, if there's too many of you, the police will stop you. So in this material world, it's showing its true colors, that this is not a nice place. So we must make effort to actually leave this place, because it will get worse. Guru Maharaj used to tell us, he said, Beta, do you know 50, 60 years ago, when I was young with my Guru Maharaj, he goes, those ages were like Satyug. He goes, there was no material wealth. We were sleeping on the floor underneath trees. but we were with our spiritual master and doing devotional service because there was no better time than that. And I can say that same thing. I remember when I was 11, 12 years old, serving my Guru Maharaj here in Coventry, and there were no better times than that. And now, many, many years later, the vritti of the world is going down and down and down. We need to understand this is not a nice place. We must make effort to get out. But we must have firm faith as well that the Lord will deliver us. And He will protect us. The problem is our faith isn't solid. We'll do all the practices, but we don't believe in the Lord. Do you know how solid Prahlad Maharaj's faith was? He was a small 5-year-old boy, and his father, the person who's supposed to look after him, is making multiple attempts to kill him. There was no one looking out for Prahlad Maharaj, but he knew Krishna was. He knew Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayan was. He had so much faith that he would even know his father's feeding him poisoned food. He would offer it to the Lord and he would eat it. Nothing would happen to him. He would know that they're going to put him into this vat of boiling oil. He would just keep saying, Jaya Narayana, Narayana, Hari, Hari. They would drop him in it, it would turn into flowers. He had so much faith that when his father asked him, is the Lord in this pillar? And he said, I can see him. And the Lord manifested from that pillar. The problem is we don't have enough faith in the Lord. So when problems come to us, we immediately think, oh, where's the Lord? Why didn't He do anything? Have the kind of faith, even a fraction of it that Prahlad Maharaj had, knowing that doesn't matter what happens, just like the Lord appeared from that pillar, just for Prahlad Maharaj, the Lord can appear for me just like that. But if you have that level of faith, that level of devotion, the Lord is waiting. He's always waiting. When is He going to turn to me? When is He going to turn to me? When are they going to ask me for help? When are they going to believe in me? The Lord's always waiting. He's sitting right next to you in your heart. We must have firm faith the Lord will help. And that's the only medicine in these times. Have faith in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. Take to this process. Chant the holy name of the Lord. Read these wonderful books. And make it firm that I want this to be the last go around for me. Because there is no happiness in this world other than this. I was discussing with Anuragi that when you're a child, we were seeing Gaurangi grow. When you're a child, you have nothing else to do but play. You get up, you eat, you play, and you think the world is perfectly nice. No, you're living a lie as a child. Ask your parents if they have any worries. While you're happily playing, they're dealing with the mortgage, job, this, that, and others. So actually, this world, as you grow, you realize how rubbish it actually is. This is not a place for a gentleman. So we should all take this Krishna consciousness movement very seriously and preach it to others and make sure we help others also become Krishna consciousness. Don't be kripana, don't be miserly and just keep this for yourself. So Jaya Satyanitaya Chanda Ki Jaya. So I don't know if there's any questions that have come through. So it doesn't look like any questions. So we'll move on now. So we've got Arati coming up next. So we'll pass back to Vidya Prabhu.